Taiwan is a refuse pioneer boasting one of the highest household recycling rates in the world. Nonetheless, it must wrestle with growing piles of electronic waste. Toxic materials inside e-waste can cause severe environmental and health problems. Unless it acts quickly, this Asian tiger could drown in the products of its own success. On Taiwan's northwest coast, an elite team battles to devise a solution. Arthur Huang, rising star designer and winner of the World Economic Forum's Technology Pioneer Award. Ken Wu, a visionary seeking to transform a traditional industry and let Taiwan shine on a global stage. And Ken's father, Yao Shun Wu, a veteran materials expert with over 40 years of experience. Their mission: construct a state-of-the-art recycling plant to increase precious metals extraction, create new recycling solutions, and be a game changer for the industry worldwide. But the obstacles at the chosen site are formidable. With high groundwater and porous soil, creating a solid foundation will be a monumental task. Corrosive sea air can cause metal to rust, weaken, and fail. Located in Typhoon Alley, the structure must be able to endure winds in excess of 120 kilometers per hour. Then there's the scorching sun. Cooling the structure while keeping its carbon footprint light is a huge design challenge.
我10来岁的时候就在爸爸的这个回收厂长大。其实我是生活在垃圾堆里面。我本来就有这个回收业的 DNA。在未来，如果我有机会盖一个新的厂，我希望盖成一个更不一样的环保回收厂，也立下一个新的指标跟里程碑。
They first enlist Taiwanese construction firm Runtex. Before breaking ground, the site must be carefully surveyed. Project manager Teng Er-sheng and his team do not yet know what awaits underground.
针对这个厂区里面某几个位置点做地质的补砖探的一个作业。我们在这个基地里面，主要是因为开挖面以下地下水位过高的话，会有不断崩落的问题，进而会影响到所有施工人员的安全。173.6。这个案子在开挖初期，我们打了78口的点井，啊，在这个点井里面，我们也设了不断电的系统，要确保这些点井能够无时无刻都在抽水，不能让水位有任何时间能够让它快速的往上爬，造成整个土方的坍塌。
It's really hard to build any real buildings because it has a huge amount of water penetration because it's next to the sea.
To combat contamination, poor soil, and high groundwater, the team decides to use a mat foundation that can evenly distribute the heavy structural load. Engineers first excavate 7.8 meters down, then place a bed of steel and reinforce it with concrete. This raft-like foundation creates a secure base for Super Dragon's prized cargo, the gold and other precious metals they mine from e-waste.
So we basically have built a giant boat sitting on top of a sandbox. Ken wants to prove to people that in a bad environment, you can still build state-of-the-art building using the least amount of carbon footprint. For his father, Mr. Wu, the most important thing is about production. For us, that became a huge conflicting point from the very beginning.
And for Chairman Wu, even high-tech production relies on the foundation of ancient tradition.
都配有件防身，时时不停暴露，等咧用东北风吼，爱做季风的吼，为这边来说，所以咱两边爱起好悬，咱爱甲这个风刷甲冻掉，咱讲长。
That tradition arrives in the form of a feng shui consultant called upon by Chairman Wu to decide the eco-plant's positioning and shape.
风水是适应环境的微气候，风水这个概念哈，它是自然的一个法则。
Rooted in ancient China, the literal meaning of feng shui is wind and water. Feng shui prescribes harmony with the forces of nature through the proper orientation of objects.
到底你修灵的，我想办法吼，伫龙抬头的所在用环，互你看到海，互你心情快活。我们在设计上，龙边就一定要高拔起来。我们所谓龙抬头，这个龙一起来之后，我们的气势就起来了。
The feng shui consultant has issued his proclamation. The new plant must follow the principal green dragon on the left white tiger on the right, to balance opposing yin-yang energies. A tall office building will embody the yang energy of the dragon, while the low factory building will represent the yin of the tiger. The building site and construction methods are set. Top eco designer Huang gets to work designing a stunning exterior for the building. But then comes an unexpected and startling request. Ken Wu and his father want more than a feng shui analogy. They want to make a dragon for all to see. The highlight is a chain of canopies linking factory and office tower. The canopies will help minimize the carbon footprint with solar panels to provide renewable energy, and will also shelter the inner courtyard. The scale-like surfaces and curving installation call to mind the exalted mythical beast.
We try to do all that with trash. And then Ken come up with the idea, I was like, why don't you use my trash?
Ken Wu's company processes nearly 1,000 tons of waste per year. In the past, e-waste recyclers simply stripped away precious metals and discarded or incinerated the rest, producing toxic gases, polluted water, and piles of useless scrap. Super Dragon recycles scrap into useful items. The company also lowers chemical use through careful sorting of wastewater. They are able to extract over 99% of the precious metals in the e-waste they receive. The challenge is to find a use for the growing piles of plastic that remain.
The canopy system end up using e-waste, PC from DVDs and CDs. SCTI do recycle CDs, so they actually can extract the silver and you left over with PC chips. We are taking optical grade PC and turn that into a triple layer sandwich board, which is translucent at the same time, has to hit all the environmental standards.
The MiniWiz team thinks they found the key to the materials puzzle, but Liu worries that it may not stand up to the intense winds at the site.
它的棚架的高度有26公尺左右那么高，那在上面的风其实是混乱，然后又很强的。我们其实在这边最怕的其实就是那种瞬间的阵风。
The team is hopeful, but a material unproven in the real world will not pass Chairman Wu's scrutiny easily.
但我觉得其实，因为模具跟零件的密合度一定是要非常高。
我们这样的长度或许不是很大的问题。
我会再跟他们。
As the R&D lead, Leo will have to ensure his invention can withstand hurricane force winds of over 120 kilometers per hour. At a lab in central Taiwan, Leo and his R&D team watch nervously. After months of hard work and millions of dollars spent, will the canopy panel pass the wind pressure test? It's a make or break moment. At a lab in central Taiwan, the MiniWiz R&D team watches nervously alongside the lab technicians. A canopy panel has been installed in a steel frame to simulate its future setup. Inside the test chamber, the wind pressure will be increased until the specimen either passes the test or breaks apart. Under the watchful eyes of the technicians, the test begins. Jarvis Leo and his team have put months of hard work and millions of dollars of their clients' money into developing this material. If it fails, they will lose the trust of the Wus and maybe the entire project. The pressure is on for both designers and the designed.
2000帕，正压3000帕，正压1.5倍安全系数，结构性能试验完成。
The number on the meter reaches the required threshold. The canopy panel, made from recycled plastics, has withstood pressure equal to a strong typhoon and remained intact. The product of the R&D team's hard work has passed the stress test with flying colors. But this does not guarantee it will pass a real-world test or the scrutiny of Chairman Wu's expert eyes.
越碰的，但是板本身不怕。但是卖
Chairman Wu is a very, very sophisticated material scientist. So when we are working together, we are actually learning a lot from Mr. Wu.
The new plant and younger generation will benefit from Chairman Wu's hard-won knowledge. But that knowledge came at a hefty price.
那就产出电容里面还有产生一些八金跟白银，里面还有白金，那一些主机，那些全部有价。
With over 45 years in the business, Chairman Wu has witnessed the evolution of the industry. Like many of his generation in Taiwan, he was driven into unfamiliar territory by poverty and necessity. His proficiency was earned entirely by doing. In 1999, he was diagnosed with nasal cancer. After his illness, Chairman Wu began to balance environmental safety and profit. Now, his son is building the new plant based on these hard-earned lessons and decades of experience.
所以其实我用了很多我的材料来做出建筑材料，因为我本身就是环保回收，所以我一定要达到这个最基本的这个再生跟材料应用的这个标准。
看它对这个产业绝对有突破，绝对比有更有的相信还要强。
This labor of love for Taiwan's recycling pioneers is paving the way for a future where nothing is wasted. E-waste is a looming problem on a global scale. This team of innovators in Taiwan has started tackling the issue in their own backyard, mining value from our discarded devices. Perhaps the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is not the bullion they create from reclaimed waste, but the example this eco-plant provides the world. The promise and possibility of a no-waste, closed-loop society.